welcome to this Inspire podcast. Today we have with us Georgia Paphiti, CFO EMEA of UBS Europe SE and WM EMEA in EMEA. So welcome, Georgia.
Thank you very much.
I would like to start this podcast by saying welcome to Cyprus and the lovely weather. Let's start with what were some of the biggest challenges you faced in your professional advancement?
Yeah. Look, I mean, if you asked me probably 10 years or 20 years ago, I would say a lot of challenges to actually get to the place that I am today. But if I look back, they're not really big challenges. I mean, you learn from them. There are all a lot of learnings throughout my career that actually had to go through to get to where I am, I must say. So I see them as learnings and not as problems or challenges. Sometimes people ask me about, balance of private and professional life. I think there is always a choice to be made, and it's not always a problem. So it's your own choice, and the consequences are yours to own. So
okay, and so you said you've learned from those challenges. Yeah. How did you take those initial, let's say, challenges and turn them into, after the learning opportunities, turn them into sort of a success?
Yeah. So I think everybody has to do a bit of self-reflection every single time you face something. To complain about it is not an option. You have to reflect on it, what went right, what went wrong, and what can I do next time to actually do it better. So I think this is how I approach every single day, for that matter. Because there are bad days and good days, and problematic projects or ones that are not that good. So you have to every time self-reflect and say, what have I learned from it? So I think that's the most important lesson out of all my career.
Okay. And coming into that, because it's a learning curve, there's reflecting on them. What would you say are some of the skills that proved decisive in helping you stand out in such a highly competitive international environment?
So I'm very determined and I'm very disciplined. I have perseverance, so I'm usually don't take no for an answer, which is good and bad. So I think, being very disciplined about the things that you want to do, and no drama. I have this saying that I also tell my teams, there is no drama. There is nothing which is impossible, because impossible is a state of mind. It's not a fact. So I think this is how I take it forward.
And you mentioned leading your team. What quality do you think a leader should have when leading a team?
Look, I think leadership is a state of mind, first of all. So it's not a set of rules that you learn from someone and then you tick the box. So you have to be very agile and you have to be very flexible. And it's never about you. You have a responsibility towards the people that you're leading in your teams. So you have to listen and you have to be very down to earth to actually take them forward. And successful teams have a lot of different people in them. So you have to deal with every single person in different ways. So you can have one leadership style with certain people and another with others. Because you have people that still need to learn. They have to develop. They have to work in different ways. So I think leadership evolves. And a leader has to be very agile to actually make sure that they're very flexible.
I like that you mentioned this agility of a leader, and I'm curious to know, since we're talking about leadership, if there's any business leader that's influenced your career, your style of leading your team.
Not one in particular, I must say, because I learned from my teams as well. So it's not only learning from leaders, but what I do, I take things that bad leaders or bad managers do, and I don't want to repeat them. So I try to reverse it a little bit. Because as I said before, it's a state of mind. So it's not a set of rules, and you can pick the good things and make sure you don't take the bad things with you. So, and obviously we make mistakes as leaders, right?
For sure.
And the biggest thing is to admit it and make sure that you get that criticism from your teams, from your clients, and make sure you reflect on it and then you make it better. So I think this is...
Definitely. And just to wrap up this podcast, I'm just curious, what's one piece of advice you have for the younger generation, especially looking to enter such a competitive market or looking to achieve careers outside of Cyprus's borders or even within Cyprus?
So maybe a few things. First of all, you have to be the CEO of your own career. You have to manage your career. If you just sit somewhere and wait for someone to do it for you, it's never going to happen. So you have to make sure and look forward to what do you want to do, and then actually do it. Sometimes you have to be a bit patient, and sometimes you have to go sideways to actually go where you want to go. And again, this agility and the flexibility come into play. So a bit of patience, and not be too harsh on yourself. Sometimes we are critical of ourselves in ways that don't help us. So let other people criticize you, and make sure you know your worth, and work to make it happen.
Excellent. Thank you so much for taking time.
Thanks a lot for inviting me.